ladies?
Hi.
Hey guys.
Hey.
We're all watered up. That's
How y'all doing?
dang help. All right, so thank you guys for joining me in this podcast adventure that we're gonna.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome, Leah. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So just for those watching, I wanted to give a little backstory, I guess. So we started a group called Let's Be Real at our school when these lovely ladies were in middle school, which they are now not. And we were asked to do a podcast for summer school. So we thought we'd let the world in on what we've been doing, talking about. So just having some real conversations. So we're going to get real today.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit or anything? You don't have to, but if that's a little weird, I don't know.
Hi, I'm Leah.
Hi, Leah.
Hi.
Hey guys, I'm Denaya.
I'm Brianna.
Hey guys.
How y'all doing?
This is so funny. All right, so these lovely ladies are in high school. I still teach at the middle school that they attended. Just some discretion, like these are our opinions, thoughts, and things that have happened. We do not represent the schools that we are a part of. These are our own.
Do not sue us at all.
Please. It's just an opinion.
Right. Positive vibes only, like positive vibes. Okay, for real. All right, so we've been quarantined for a long time and things are starting to open up now, but I know a lot of you guys are still staying quarantined. We kind of talked about this before, so like how do you guys feel about quarantine? What has been going well, not going well, that type of stuff? What are your thoughts?
Well, I actually went to the store yesterday, and like when you go to the stores, there's like lines. So I mean, because they only let a certain amount of people in at one time. So I guess just like staying in the lines is kind of something that everyone has to adjust to because it's like a new way of life.
I think it's kind of, let's see how to put this. I don't think that we should open up like restaurants and stuff. I think it's too soon. I also think, just my opinion, I think is really selfish because there's a global pandemic going on. So you're kind of endangering more people when you open a restaurant where there's so much germs. And you're constantly touching the doors, opening chairs, you're touching the table, plates. So I just think everything what's going on right now is just too soon, and we should just put a hold on to that till later on in the year.
Yeah. It sucks to be under quarantine, but I appreciate it. And like I understand that not everyone's gonna want to be quarantined, and like everyone's gonna go, like people are gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. But I just feel like it's just the safest, the best bet is just to stay at home and chill, and like getting used to the lines at the grocery stores, getting used to staying 6 feet apart from people. Even though still people, when you go to the store, you can tell some people still don't practice it. Because you have some people that really just don't think that this virus is real, but it literally is. But I don't know. And I agree with Brianna. I do think it's selfish, but I do understand that people have to work. But I just feel like they can work, but they don't have to come in the store. You know what I'm saying? Like people are still doing curb pickup. You don't have to dine in. I feel like they should not open that dining in. Takeout and stuff like that. I understand people want to go outside, but takeout, I feel like it's just the best bet right now. It's just not safe.
I hear you. I think some of that is like from our standpoint, because we don't work in those fields, I think some of that is easier said than done too. Just thinking about it, you know what I mean? Like, like you have curbside pickup, but then you also have, not as many workers when you do things like that. You do have people that need to pay their bills, and, people who have been laid off and, don't get the benefits that they would have if they were working. The line things definitely are a bit of adjustment because you have people that are following the line guides and people that are not. People that are trying to cut in front of you. People, I feel like that stuff just kind of comes to the territory. But I also like what you said, Leah, and with, being mindful that these things are opening up and these things are happening, and just kind of being safe still. Like, so take that in your own, like take that for you instead of like putting that on everybody else. Like, oh, everybody else needs to do this. Well, it's like, well, I'm gonna trust myself first.
Yeah.
And I'm either going to, so I have actually not gone to the store a ton. I mean, I have, but I try to do like the pickup stuff because it's actually been pretty amazing. Like, do I ever have to step in a store at all? Like, ever? Because I can just pick up my stuff and stay in my car. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You can make adjustments on your phone. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. But what is something that, like, personally for you that has been like going well during quarantine? Like, what have you liked about being at home?
I've gotten to focus more on like working out and like exercising and like, you know, get preparing for basketball if there's gonna be basketball. I feel like because during school it was like go to school, practice, homework, sleep, and you keep on doing it. You don't really get to like actually like work out when you want to and stuff like that. And probably just like the sleeping schedule. Now that it's like summer, sleeping schedule just doesn't matter anymore.
Really doesn't.
So yeah.
For sure. So how do you feel? What happens if basketball doesn't happen? Like, what if it doesn't come back like you think it's going to?
Well, my mom and I were talking about this yesterday. Like, if we don't have school, like if schools don't have the sports, I was like, what about like a club team? But then she's like, what if there is no club team? And I'm like, I don't know.
Okay. So, but you'll still like practice on your own though, right? You'll still keep the passion for you instead of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's difficult to think about. I was just asking.
Yeah.
What else? What is something else that's been going well during quarantine, or something maybe unexpected?
I think during this quarantine, it's easier to better yourself. That's what I've been working on, at least bettering myself, like managing myself, my thoughts, and like being able to only focus on just me, like while maintaining like, you know, friendships and stuff like that, relationships, that's fine, but like being able to like focus on me and better myself, like try out new diets, try out new exercises, try out like new things, like I don't know, like journaling or like writing things down in my notes. Like I do that a lot now, I'm not gonna lie. And I started sending quotes to friends, specifically Brianna. I mean, no, it's okay. It's a new thing. I'm slowly getting into it. Like I started with Brianna, and they're very corny, but I appreciate them because they're good quotes. So I send them to her, and then I started with Juliana today, and I'm gonna start with some other people today. Some other people. Danaya, you're gonna be next. Calm down.
Okay, thank you. I like to hear that.
Because I'm not at the top of the list.
I mean, definitely you too, but I feel like you are literally a walking quote book, so I really don't think that you need that.
Right. Miss Chapman has a quote for any situation.
I wasn't talking about me. I was speaking as Danaya. Like, why was she not? I was speaking.
Oh, okay.
I can use her. You, Miss Chapman.
I'm just saying, you're a walking quote book.
Let's see, what has been going on in my quarantine? Not much, but I think now, since this whole like pandemic is happening, like my family, we're closer than ever right now. Like everyone's checking up on everyone. We're being mindful. And we're just like, you know, we're just trying to stick it through this whole entire thing, because it is a tough time. And especially there's just so many people who are, you know, passing, and it's a hard time for everyone. So we just, you know, kind of keep faith and just check up on everyone, and, you know, just keep to ourselves, mind our business, you know.
Very true. I agree with like a little bit of everything that you guys have said, which is pretty cool, because I feel like sometimes you forget like how to take care of yourself or what you can do that's kind of outside of just sitting on social media, even though I do that too. But, you know, finding new workouts, finding ways to take care of yourself. I've been really focusing on like skincare. Not that I have like horrible skin, but I want to get to a point where like I don't feel like I have to put on makeup. And that's never been like, oh my gosh, I have to put on makeup. But you get to certain points where you're like, let me just cover this stuff up. So I've been really focusing on my skincare, focusing on my eating, even though that has its plus points sometimes, but we're human, so that happens.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like the whole self-care thing. Like, what else do you guys do to take care of yourself, like in the midst of this? I like the, sending quotes to people as you're kind of reflecting on yourself. What else do you do to like take care of yourself?
Well, yesterday I got a new book, and it has like 300 like word prompts, and you just like write about like different topics. So I thought it would be cool to get. So I'm gonna like try to do one like every day. And another thing, TikTok. That's
Oh,
when
God.
I really need to like stop getting on TikTok, but at the same time, it's like, no, you just can't. What else do you do?
Yeah.
It's such a bad addiction. I literally cannot stop. Like, I try, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna.
Honestly.
Oh, TikTok, it's so fun. I blame all of y'all because you guys were like,
I blame Mariah.
TikTok and All American, you guys have ruined. You have ruined.
Okay, but All American is just an essential. It just have to watch. It is though, because you can like relate it to real life and stuff like that. So it's good. I like
I don't
it.
need no help. I don't need no help. Help my mother and Chris off.
I'm good. I'm good.
What are my moms, Dylan and Coop? What we gonna do now?
My shoulder. My shoulder. Like,
too much. Like, seriously, I'm so like obsessed with like all of the characters. Like, seriously, like I follow them all now.
They're interesting people.
They're really interesting people. Like, so yeah, TikTok, All American, ruined my life. That's all I do.
I've also been watching Riverdale, the new season of Riverdale.
Leah's face, did you catch it?
Yeah. So.
That's not for me. Riverdale, no. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
offended.
That was funny.
Riverdale.
Too much. I have not
I've been obsessed with Twitter. I've been on Twitter lately.
Oh yeah, I've been on Twitter a lot. Twitter's funny.
I don't have Twitter.
I go on Twitter just because, I like to see what's going on in the world. And then people get into fights with me on Twitter.
You know what's crazy though? Like nowadays we go on Twitter for news. We don't actually go on the news.
Yeah, that's all I use Twitter for. I just
it's because the news is so depressing, to be honest.
Also, yeah, and I also feel like it's just so biased.
Hey. I grew up on the news, okay?
I grew up
but
on CNN.
literally, I'm actually really getting tired of hearing coronavirus this, coronavirus that. So I just don't watch it.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
True. So does looking at this? So I don't have TikTok, or not TikTok. I don't have Twitter anymore. I used to a long time ago, and then it got hacked, and I was like, forget it. It's too much. But so you said that's how you look at the news. So like, what type of news are you getting from Twitter?
I feel like they cover different stories. Like you hear about more things than just Corona. Like on the side, you can hear about like presidents. You can hear about down to like murders and stuff like that. Like crazy things like go on, and something simple as lawsuits and like franchises and stuff. That's like I can find that on Twitter easily about people and stuff. It's not my timeline. Of course, to make the coronavirus, the virus going on right now, a top priority. Like when you open it, you see coronavirus, but you can look under and you see something like you see different news. Okay, it's like they're not trying to make you sad. They just tell you the facts and they move on. In the news, they exaggerate it, and I don't want to hear that every day. Like just
I watch CNN. Like a cap. I watch CNN because I
watch the news sometimes, but not.
And what about it?
That's cool though. I like that it's your way of staying connected to what's going on in the world. So you're not just sheltered and shielded from everything. Like you still have a way to understand, all right, this is what's happening. All right, here are the facts from this. Like that's cool. But I feel like even thinking about you guys in middle school, and I'm thinking like specifically Brianna and Leah, I remember you guys used to always search up articles.
We did.
And I gave you guys time to look. I gave you guys like 10 minutes. Y'all were always
we tag team.
Yeah. And it was like the best report ever. So this is what we found. Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
Oh.
Same.
That's cool. What else has been going on? Is there anything like, so I notice sometimes like looking at the news, even hearing facts of different things happening, Right now, to me, like I start to get like really overwhelmed with some of like these deaths that are happening. You know, people getting killed and murdered for literally nothing. Like that stuff is like hard. So what do you do when you've kind of like, okay, I've had enough? Like, what's your go-to like decompression?
Yeah.
First of all, go ahead and explain what decompression means. That's a big word. I haven't been
It's
in
an eye.
It's like have you
I'm just playing, guys. I know.
Nah, I'm gonna break it down for you because it's not that bad. I'm just like your go-to, like, all right, I just need to chill. Like, I just need to take a break and maybe even think positive, something positive, or something to kind of get you from an overwhelmed state down to like, all right, I'm relaxed. I'm better. I can move on with something else.
It's a very bad character trait of mine, but like I won't. Like if it's something like there's like, let's say like someone was wrongfully murdered, I will go to the replies. I will read and read and read, and I'm just like, oh yeah. So you know, it's something that when like I get fueled by ignorance when people are like, you know, they're talking. Like recently I got into a feud on Twitter with this Trump supporter who, you know, the Ahmaud Arbery case. I was talking about it and I was just stating my opinion. You know, they're like, you must be, you know, so like stressed over black on white murders, and I'm like, okay, well, like that stuff that it doesn't necessarily like, oh my gosh, like I need to stop. Like it makes me, you know, okay, you got your opinion, even though I think it's wrong. You got your opinion and you're entitled to it. Me, I have to get my point across. You know, usually when I have, you know, the facts, I got everything ready. People are intimidated by it. So, you know, they resort to name calling. So I'm just like, okay, I really don't care. So I don't rest until I get my point across. And that's very bad. But it's what just, you know, once they block me, that's how I know. I was like, you know what? I did what I needed to do. I did the thing. So that's just me. It's terrible that I do it, but I just find joy in it.
But you don't back down from your opinion is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I know. I'm really strong about it, and it's really bad. It's really bad, but I don't give up.
I don't think that's a good trait, though, that you don't back down from your opinion.
No, it's like it's good, kind of, and then like it's bad because like I get stubborn and like I just will keep and keep.
I understand.
Be careful.
Yeah.
With that online, please. I'm a little bit worried. I'm like, you know what? Have your opinion, be strong in it, like that stuff for sure. Just be mindful of who you are. That's all. Yeah. What else is going on, ladies? You don't have to stick to that topic. I was just asking a question.
Oh no, I'm gonna continue it.
Oh no, I'm gonna continue.
No, right. But it's just like from like when I get overwhelmed, especially when I look at the news, and like when I actually do sit down and watch the news. Right now, literally, you on the side of the news and CNN, you literally see the death toll going up and up, or how many cases are keep going rising. But you don't see how many cases are cured on there. So there's no positive side to that. So when I look at that, like when they're telling me the news, the only thing I'm getting distracted by how many people are dying or how many people have just been diagnosed with a case of a virus. So I like from there right then and there, like when I finally get overwhelmed, I just like have so many. I'm an opinionated person, but in a good way. So I like after that, I just have so many opinions. So then I just turn off whatever news I'm watching, and I just stray away from like my phone and social media, and I literally just go talk to my family. That's it. Or even if my family isn't around, like I just share my opinions about something, and I like slowly starts to go away, or I just don't let it bother me. Like I understand like what's going on, and like just come to terms with it. Or I just sit by myself, throw on some tunes, and just talk. Yes, I talk to myself. Y'all should do it too, out loud. It's fun.
Do you ever go and find the positive?
Oh yeah, definitely. I do. Find the positive in it. Like, I mean, yeah, I do.
So like,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, sometimes, like, when like, my mom will be watching the news, and, like, I won't be watching it, but, like, there will be news that she'll just come and, like, just tell me, oh, I heard about this one, I just heard about that. But, like, when I do watch the news, there's sometimes, like, I see people, like, if you guys heard about, like, people are actually doing something in their, like, quarantine. Like, one of the guys, he, like, does, like, the little karaoke for people that walk by and stuff like that. Like, I found, like, that's, like people are in quarantine, but, like, they're making the best out of it. So I'm like, if they're doing it, you know, I should too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've seen that karaoke guy. I've seen him a couple of times.
Yeah.
For sure. Finding the positive, making something out of it though is huge. So I asked my class in one of their attendance posts, like, what's something that you're doing creative during this time? And most of them said like art, you know, oh, like I'm drawing or I'm painting, which is cool. I think that stuff is fantastic. But I'm like, what else? What else? Like, could they be doing that could lead to like creativity? You know what I mean? Like, I think it was Leah who mentioned, you know, you've been journaling more, you've been writing. I know Denaya, I know you do some of that too. We have mentioned that before. I think we all kind of write a little bit, but is there anything else that you guys are doing to like make the most out of this? And maybe finding, besides us doing this, finding something to kind of lead more to like what your purpose may be, or where, you know, you could find your like happy time.
Well, I feel like when you're as much as you're at home, like, you should try to like do things that you thought you'd never do. Like me braiding my hair, I didn't know I could do it, but like, you know, be staying in the house, I asked my mom like, oh, how do I do it? And I feel like everyone's gonna come out of quarantine knowing something that they didn't know before just by trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Your hair look good, by the way, girl. Yes, honey.
Thank you. So does yours.
What else? Any tips or advice of what we could be doing right now?
Honestly, just step out of your comfort zone. Whatever you can do at home, just step out of your comfort zone.
Whatever that looks like for whoever.
I have at-home photo shoots when I get bored. I mean, there's really not much to do. Or like, I'll wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and just be like, okay, what do I do? Like, and then go back to sleep and open for 1 o'clock in the morning, or not 1 o'clock, 1 in the afternoon. But besides that, what you can do is probably like clean your room. I need to clean mine.
Me too.
Take a shower, take a bath. You know, get into stuff that you like. Read. I read a lot. I
started reading. Yeah.
Yeah, just like trying to read it. But that's what how I learned. I read everything. So I think that's something that you can get into. Reading. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Say that again for the people who didn't hear you the first time.
Reading is pretty cool. Do it.
Read.
I'm like, look, I say that, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
No, read.
Yeah, especially during this quarantine, like, I've started reading, and I'm like, because like back in like school and like not even middle school, but like elementary, I used to read a lot. And then as I like started growing up, it's like I don't read anymore. Like, I don't like reading. But like just a few months ago, like, I started reading, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah. But I'm a hard person to get.
Cool.
Like, I have to find a book that I like to read. Like, because I like to read, but if you give me a book and I'm not interested in it, I'm not gonna read it. Like, I don't know. I just like very interesting books. Like, the book can't be slow. It can't be like, you know, I just want something interesting that I enjoy reading. I don't like.
Do you have a go-to? Like, what do you like to read?
Okay, but it was kind of like a kid's book, but I don't care. Today, it's been my favorite book since. It's the book called Rules. That book. Does anyone know that book? Okay, it's called Rules. It's but I love that book. I don't care. It's great. But right now, I'm reading because before school was over, I joined book club. I guess. Yeah, I joined book club, guys, and it was the book I chose to read with my book club was Fahrenheit. 451, I think, something like that. And I have it, and I've been reading it.
It's Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, really good. I like it.
Sweet. I like all these reading vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this book from Walmart. It's called This Is Where It Ends.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
And like I told my mom, I was like, I wish the libraries were open so I could keep checking out books instead of like keep buying them, because once I read them, I'm never gonna read them again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. Oh, I read the reviews as I was reading the book, and people were saying like, yeah, you didn't really get to like feel the emotion in the book, and like it just wasn't really good, but I liked it. So
You finished reading that one already?
yeah.
Okay. So what's your 5-star review? How many stars do you give this book?
I would give it like 4.
Okay.
A 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's solid. That's solid.
4 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5 stars, guys.
Okay, Brianna, you said you like to read though. What's your go-to? Do you have a go-to?
Right now, currently, I'm reading this book called Dear Martin. I have it right by my bed. I'm almost done with it. I have like 2 chapters left. I'm not gonna grab it because I'm gonna drop everything off my desk. But it's a pretty good book. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is a little bit dramatized, but like really bad. But I would give it right now, since it's not finished, probably like a good 4.6 out of 10.
Okay.
All right, got some point value there. 4.6. Okay, cool. I haven't been reading a ton just because I have been focusing a lot of my energy on my class. But we started reading this book called Pygmalion at the end of our quarantined remote learning time. And I didn't get to finish it with them, but yesterday I had my last Zoom call with them, and so they were like, or at least a couple of them, Ms. Chapman, can you put an audio of the rest of the book online for us? We want to finish reading it. So that kind of warms my heart, going, all right, they did like get something out of the book. It's actually really funny if you've never read it. It's also a play. So to hear like the different voices and things like that, I was playing the audio from my phone and like scrolling over where it was in the book.
That's cool.
I have to record the rest of that for them, but other than that, yeah.
I read a class book too. It's called House on Mango Street. I forgot that I read it, but it was actually really good. I enjoyed it. It was because it was very realistic. It's honestly about like, it's kind of like women's roles and like stereotypes and like what it's like to be an immigrant in America and stuff like that. So it's really cool. It's interesting.
My first semester. Oh,
sorry.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, our class book for first semester was The Good Earth. I kind of forgot what it was about, but I know that the main character, he was a player. That's all I remember.
Oh, a player, okay.
And it was like he was. And I think it was like something about him working in like the farms and stuff like that, and just like how he wanted children. Yeah, and he like married a wife to get children, and then that's pretty much all I remember.
Huh.
Interesting.
What did you say that book was called?
It's called The Good Earth.
The Good Earth. Huh.
Mine was To Kill a Mockingbird. That was my first.
Oh yeah,
book.
we read that too.
Classic.
My school, they didn't do it. They did it as a book club book, and I didn't want to do it just because.
Oh, I have to read Macbeth.
I think
now.
we all know why.
Do you guys remember Edgar Allan Poe?
Yes.
Oh my God, yes. I enjoyed those books. I mean, they were dark, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd probably say one of my best, like my favorite series is Junie B. Jones.
Oh yeah, me too. I used to read all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
No, the No David books.
The books with like
No David.
George Washington, and then they have like the really big heads.
Oh, like the history book?
Yeah, I used to read those all the time. My favorite.
Yes. I have students that still try to do those as book report books.
Gosh.
I remember when we used to do AR and we had to we needed 0.5 points left, so we would just read kids' books.
I hated AR with a passion. I hated it.
Me too.
I hated it.
Me too.
reading, and I would get like overwhelmed because I'm like, why are they reading this?
I also didn't like STAR. Is that what it's called?
STAR was a test, yeah.
I hated that.
STAR was pretty cool.
I wasn't a good test taker.
I did everything.
No, I didn't cheat on STAR. That's kind of hard.
I didn't like STAR. I didn't like STAR math. I like STAR reading. STAR reading.
No, I love STAR math. I love
STAR
reading.
Because with STAR reading, I never knew if I was getting them right. Because with STAR math, you get them right, the answers. I mean, the questions get harder. And so with STAR reading, it's like it just stayed the same.
And then it was annoying because.
No, go for it.
Okay, it was annoying because like. I guess the questions would get easier and easier if you were doing. That was like the thing. I guess when the questions get easier, you're doing like your score is dropping, and if it's getting hard, it means you're doing good. So I was like, is 5 + 5 hard or is 2 + 2 hard? I'm confused. Somebody help me, please.
Right.
I said, how do we go from dividing to sum? Make it make sense.
No.
Right.
I was so confused.
I don't. That's hard. That test it's hard because I feel like we live in like a instant gratification type of world. So it's like when you don't know, there's like this automatic freak out. I can to a T like pinpoint the type of students that I have taken this test, and I do it all the time because it's always like that student that's like really focused and like taking their time. And then in STAR, there's that. You guys remember it has like the clock that comes up if you take too long?
Oh my god!
Oh my god, I hated that.
Kids freak out, but my favorite thing to watch is like why the kids freak out because you have kids that are doing this.
I literally wait for that to happen, and
then
then
I'm like, really, really. But I feel like reading tests almost in general are harder than math tests.
There's so many answers, not one answer.
Right, even the ones that are like find the evidence in the story. You're like, well, this could be evidence. And in math, it's like, all right, did I do this correct? And here's my answer, or I missed a step, and they still have the answer in there, but it's a trick. Like you can still kind of figure it out.
You know what? I'm about to sue STAR. I'm just playing peace with you. But I'm just saying. But that was a whole story, like literally like 5 paragraphs, or maybe I'm exaggerating, 4.
Yes.
In like 2 minutes and answer a 3 part. Leave me alone. I don't want to do it anymore. So I would go back, and go. But 40 questions.
Too many stories.
But 40 questions.
I don't got it.
Was that necessary?
Too many questions.
40 questions. Y'all can't do 10 now.
How did you feel about not having to take? You didn't have to take AZ Merit or anything this year.
Hallelujah. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Amen. Amen to that.
We were free.
You know what?
We're free. I mean, those finals.
Never.
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys a really funny story. So, one of Leah's friends, he's like, class of 2020, and he's a freshman, right? So, he texted me, and he's like, send a video of you, like, congratulating somebody from your school for, like, class of 2020. And I was like, I do online school. And he was like, don't we all, LOL. And I was like, no, I did it before this pandemic. Like, and he was like, oh, wait, you're serious? I was like, yeah, I don't attend no. It was so funny to me. So, yeah.
As it should.
She's like, to me, it was funny to me.
It was so funny to me because it was clicking after like 45 minutes of saying, like, I go to an art.
We all don't. We like, what?
Look, just because it's online doesn't mean everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
True. Listen, okay, I did all my schoolwork, but the thing was, like, I did everything on time. No, that wasn't me. But the thing was, there was no school if you don't open that Chromebook. So that is what it was for me. But I did open the Chromebook every single day because my mom would not allow that shenanigan. But I'm just saying, for some kids, that was the rule. There's no school if you don't open that Chromebook.
I would be like, I'm bored in quarantine. Let me get to the school. I'm like, so y'all weren't doing the schoolwork when
Right, that TikTok song that blew up, I'm bored in the house, or in the house bored, whatever the song was. I was like, y'all have work to do, I promise.
Do your schoolwork. What is you doing?
Everyone's trying to
something that you could be doing to not be so bored right now.
Exactly.
Baby. I got an Instagram story in line school. I mean, I could like miss like a day and I gotta make it up on the weekend, but I can my school whenever I want. So I'm like, who's checking me? My parents, yes. They're checking me. Like
have you ever had a day without your technology? Like a day without, not saying not doing your schoolwork, but like not going on social media?
Yeah. I do that sometimes, all the time. I don't think a full day. I don't think it's a full day, but it's like at least 8 to 12 hours. I don't need it.
Yeah. If my phone died, it's gonna stay dead. So
yeah, when her phone dies, she literally does not charge it. I'm just like, ma'am, I'm trying to call you. Answer the phone, please.
Yeah, I could just. I don't know. I think life is pretty cool because there was one time where we didn't have no internet and my phone, I couldn't go on social media, so I was like, okay, like it didn't change anything. I was outside a little bit more. I got a little tan.
There's more to life than social media.
But my legs are white again, so I got a tan again.
Right.
She's at a tan. I was gonna ask though. So what do you do? Like, so you said you go off your phone for like a couple hours every now and then or whatever. So what do you do?
Bother my
during
mom.
that time? It's like family time. Interesting. And swimming, guys. I learned how to swim.
Oh,
Because y'all know I was drowning in the wave pool. I was drowning in the wave pool.
But that's where you stayed.
That's where I did stay.
You did that to yourself.
But I was drowning in the wave pool, so I said I have to learn how to swim. So I taught myself I can backstroke and everything. I'm back.
That's not bad.
You taught yourself how to swim?
No, I was taught how to swim, but I bettered myself. Bettered my swimming abilities.
My godmom threw me in the pool.
I don't.
Okay, I know how to swim, guys. Don't worry about my technique. Okay.
Wait, Brianna, what did you say? Did you say somebody threw you in the pool?
Yeah, but like my cousins were in there and my sister was there. She just like threw me in there and then like I was floating. And yeah, and then like it was just like kind of packing. She was like, just doggy paddle.
Sorry guys, my phone kind of like fell. Sorry about that.
Sorry, Brianna, I was trying, but Denia was
sorry.
Denia has what happened?
Sorry guys, my phone fell.
She's too busy for us. She has to keep like going in and out of her
because like my mom keeps texting me because like she's like I'm on my way and like I'm like Mom, I'm in a meeting.
No,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. We can wrap up. So let me ask you one final thing and we can wrap it up here. What would be your like, I don't know, if you can give like one piece of advice to anybody that's like watching, what would you tell them like during our quarantine stuff?
Wash your hands and brush your teeth.
Wait, wash your hands and what?
Brush your teeth.
Okay. Yeah, no stinky breath, please.
Be safe and look for the positives in this situation.
Positive affirmations.
I'm gonna just say like stay motivated, do what you love, and don't be scared. That's all I'm gonna say.
For sure. I love all of that. My go-to phrase over the past like week has been see the good. So see the good in everything. So I like how we talked about like self-love a little bit, what you guys are doing to take care of yourselves and things like that. Keep that stuff going. Add more to it if you can, because nobody else is gonna love you if you don't love you. That's also been my go-to. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for jumping on here with me.
Thank you so much for having us. It's just been an honor.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
So if you're watching this and you have some other tips or some things that you do, comment
section below.
Yeah.
Down below. You guys like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Oh, yeah, all of that. Positive vibes only, though. We want to know what you're doing to take care of yourself during quarantine and even after. So we shall reconvene at another time. Love y'all.
Thank you guys for watching this YouTube channel. Make sure you guys check out our merch section down below in the bio. See you guys later.